Good afternoon, Mr. President. I can be organizer. That is Codaf for this donation or gathering. I don't see any magic in the Western world. I'm trying to be attraction. So they start somewhere and Nigeria can still do better through this their initiative. So I want to inform them that it's important of wasteful wealth. Within this conference, we have come women in this conference. Anytime I heard any program, immediately you see them with the big sack. They will be taking the plastic. So how many of them like maybe they're selling oil, selling other things like that. So if we are able to encourage our people that anytime either at the party or the road, if they are taking this thing, so if they bring it to a place, if they wait it, it's going to be there for something. People at every household, most of us that drink or drank bottled water, instead of throwing it inside those things, it is over there. So we bring it down to a place. So alhamdulillah, we have to see this here. You are here. Then the president of the artisan is here too. So definitely the offer most of the community here. The student man from a fellow, they can shoot. So as a result, I believe this is very spread. But the importance of it, you understand it, so that everybody will be encouraged to report. So how should we go? So on behalf of the executive person of the federal government, this is Surah Olayemi Animashaun, I declare this program open. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful remark. Okay, I will move quickly to invite my boss, the Executive Director of Community Development and Community Foundation, Mr. Billy Richard, for his opening remark.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Richard Billy. I'm the Executive Director of Community Development and Advocacy Foundation. Because of time, I wouldn't want to bore you people with long speeches. All right. First of all, I want to thank our chairman here for opening the floor for this activity to kick off. And our imam and the representative of the time and everybody that is here sitting. Let us jump the protocol of reading long speeches. We are here for one purpose: establishing the multi-solid action for maintaining reduction in Nigeria. And in a few moments from now, we are going to bring an expert who has been here before, who have done a baseline report for this project and how it's going to affect and influence the lives of Nigerians living in Epe and Nigeria at large. So once again, I want to welcome everybody to this event and enjoy the process. Thank you and God bless you all. For the people of Lagos State. So before we started, we didn't want to go like you can find that while the presentation was on. I was asking to start from here. We looked at many reasons why it should be Lagos. You know, Lagos is a coastal area, and we are presently going through climate change. And you can imagine if the predictions about rainfall come to reality, the kind of flooding that will happen in some of these coastal regions, they can even carry waste from those dump sites. So we don't want waste going there in the first place. And that is the whole essence of this material recovery facility. You get the point. So this is a baseline study, and why did we have to do baseline study? Yes, the project is to establish a plant that will convert organic waste to biofertilizer as against the chemical fertilizers. So we had to conduct a baseline study. And what was our aim? To find out what we met on ground. What did we meet on ground? So that when this facility takes off, we will know at some point whether the facility has actually been positive or negative. That's the whole essence of the baseline study. For example, what is the waste structure on ground? How are people? We did a lot of stakeholders and consultation. How are people going to be involved in these projects, especially the farmers, the market women, the household, the waste pickers, and so on and so forth. So the baseline serves to as a reference point for these projects. So with this baseline study, the idea is that after some time, after many years, we will now come back again to find out if all the good things we say this project will do, are they doing it or not? That's the essence of the baseline. So please, next slide. So in this baseline study, the first thing we did was to do a preliminary estimation of methane. Like we have here established that methane gas is a very powerful gas that adds to climate change. So we did that estimation for a few points in those states, in their community, and we also, of course, established a baseline information for household, business owners, food sellers, farmers, waste pickers, and local government officials. Then these local government officials, our team had done a lot of works before we came here. Then it will be followed by material characterization, which will also be to establish the percentage of different components of waste that comes to waste dump. Please, next slide. So we didn't just work alone. We worked with people from this community. We sensitized and educated them on the way before going to the field. Next slide. So this is some of the actions at the field. Our people had to interview people to find out their mindset about this project, how they are going to welcome this project, how they are going to react, because we want everybody to be involved in this project. So let us go to the key findings, some of the key findings of this project. Are we together? So we, in the process of our waste characterization, we established that organic waste is actually at least 30%, 31% of the waste composition from the materials from major dump sites in the community. And that, again, gives us the impression that there will be material availability. Because for investors, for example, they can't put their money into composting organic fertilizer without being sure that organic waste is a major source of material. Because plastic also follows. You will find that the reason why plastic was around 21.3% is that there are other uses for plastic. For example, when you throw away plastic, people use plastic for zobo. So those ones doesn't even go to waste in the first place. They also use it for agbo. So those ones doesn't go to the waste stream. But however, what is important here is that organic waste is still an important material in the waste generating in the business life. Of course, methane. We use the IPPC method for estimating methane, and also found that in Epe community alone, about 5,125 tons of methane is emittable from and that's a huge figure. Let's go to the next slide. So this is some of the responses from the people we sampled from farmers. We try to ask questions, and I think I need to conclude. Now, the various types of waste that they use the boats. Then we also ask them, is it cheap? There are reasons for the use of organic fertilizer. Some of them say it's expensive. Some say they don't know. Some say they can't find out. And there was no response for others. Because most farmers in the Epe don't use organic fertilizers. So we try to find out why. So some of them, the truth is that some of them are not even aware of composting. Most farmers are not aware of composting. What is obtainable is that, yes, people throw away some of their vegetables in their garden, but that is not composting. Composting is either done in a pit, like we find in somewhere in Jos. They have to burn the green materials, and that would have killed some important microorganisms. So what the MRF is interested in doing is not just to build a plant that will give us biofertilizer, but also make sure that the biofertilizer is treated so that it does not contaminate our plants and water. So we now ask farmers their knowledge of composting, we can see the results. Some say they don't know. A good number of them say they don't know about composting. And of course, farmers' knowledge of biofertilizer, you see, most of them are aware that they are strongly agree that biofertilizer is the process of being the plants. We are the process of building the plant here in the community. I think the reason is that the team that came and get one ahead of us have done a lot of sensitization to farmers. Please, next slide. Now, on the willingness to switch to organic fertilizer, yes, a good number of farmers say that they want to switch to biofertilizers, and that is quite encouraging. Then again, farmers' willingness to pay for biofertilizers, if available, of course, most of them say that they will pay. Of course, you know that biofertilizers can never be as expensive as chemical fertilizers. Then, on their knowledge of the environmental impact of chemical fertilizers, of course, a good number of them say they are aware, but there is nothing they can do about it. Then, we now ask the farmers, what do you think will encourage factors that are determinant of organic fertilizer? Factors do you think will encourage farmers in the event to begin to use biofertilizers? A good number of them say that financial incentives, that they need financial incentives to actually switch from organic fertilizers to biofertilizer. Please, next slide. Then we also, we are still on farmers. Then the amount of composting success. We also ask them, this project, when it is done and handed over to you as farmers, what do you think would be the success? Some of them say that they need to be trained. I think farmers are here. Am I speaking your voice? So some of them say they need to be trained. Then we also ask farmers again, what is your view on the benefits of using biofertilizers in the community? Of course, some of them say that with their knowledge of farming so far, that it will increase the soil fertility. Again, we also ask a question, farmers' view on the potential impact of these projects. A good number of them say that the project is a very good idea, and we are quite impressed with that. Then lastly, we also ask the farmers, what are the methods of disposing waste? We ask them organic waste disposal method among farmers in the event. A good number of them say that, well, they try to compose, but not as much as it's required. Please, next slide. Then household, because in this research, we're looking at 5 layers: farmers, household, waste pickers, food sellers, and local government officials. So this is the household, their perception towards this project. We asked them, household members, what are their common types of waste disposal? A good number of them says, the type of waste they generate, a good number of them say that they generate disposable waste, which is also quite impressive and also informs us that, of course, yes, the degradables are the materials will be there for the facility that we are building. Again, we also ask household, what disposal practices and handling do you embark on here? They say that they use government provided bins they make it available for the collectors. Of course, there are vans and trucks that will pick them. I think that seems to be the major disposal method here in the community. We also ask a question, the observable management problem. What are the problems of waste disposal and collection in Lagos State? A good number of them say that there is no composting facility. I mean, this is a field work. So if this should reflect the situation in them, so most of them say there is no composting facility in them. Also followed by the fact that this waste bin, the coverage is very limited. So that's why you find illegal dump site.
He has given to us on this NGO program, which is Codaf. Codaf has come to assist the community, and from the analysis and the explanation, they are going to employ 200 youth in this community. And this project has been a project that we'll be looking for, that is waste to wealth, that is turning the waste in the community to wealth. Now, my own piece of advice is we need to encourage our youth, the street pickers, that there is no place where we are that we can't make money. All of us cannot work in the office, at the office. So the little thing we are making from this, may God Almighty make it a successful for us. I also want to say big thanks to the Honorable Chairman of the local government, Princess Surah Olayemi Animashaun, for having trust in we that had nothing. You see, it is another thing for you to be some certain sort of people. It's another thing for somebody to absorb, to agree, to accept. The acceptability of this project will go a long way to reduce unemployment in our community. And as earlier said, that she didn't sell the place for them. She has never collected money from any one of them. All what she's doing is for the development of the community. And if we can, we all heard when the project director said they will pilot it, they will train us, they will monitor for 2 years. After the 2 years, the project belongs to the community. That is, we are good to go with the project. So we pray that the God Almighty should should help us in this community, that more good things will come in. Thank you and God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right. So all protocols really observed, and I want to appreciate the opportunity that Codaf has to the house here. So we want to give, I would say, gratitude to the executive chairman of the Epe Local Government, in the person of Honorable Princess Surah Olayemi and other protocols duly observed. Well, I'm Victor from the Sustainable Research and Action for Environmental Development, which is a member of the Global Alliance for Generational Alternative. It's actually a network of several NGOs, both in Lagos and internationally, where we advocate against the use of incineration and to embrace sustainable waste management through waste segregation, as well as because of the opportunity that abounds within waste segregation, which will help us to effectively manage our waste. By the time the waste are being separated, you have waste coming in pure forms, and they no longer become waste; they are now resources. And this project is a big project which has different implementing partners. Even Stradem is also implementing, and Codaf is implementing here. And we also have some people implementing from Jos in Plateau State, even in Edo State too, in Abuja. We're also demonstrating the same thing. So very soon we'll all be invited to the bigger picture of how we can assist the country, to stop this commingling waste, packing waste together, and it's becoming a huge challenge in the country. Before you know it, several dump sites have been closed up because of the issues of waste management. And so on this note, I want to welcome you to this big event. We may start now because we know it's going to expand throughout Lagos State. We also demonstrated something like that in our estate at Okwaba, where we are demonstrating source segregation. It's also a very wonderful project. We are producing BSF. People in the estate are sorting their waste, getting recyclables, and getting
money for the estate. So we want to appreciate your support, we want to appreciate your collaboration, and we want to see this becoming a big thing in the local government where everybody embraces source education and we learn from this process. Thank you very much.
The multi-solving action committee introduction is the project being implemented by community development.
A large amount of methane. The project takes a holistic approach by targeting methane emission in waste sector while simultaneously creating co-benefit for local communities and their ecosystem. So the project is going to be engaging for all of us here. As we can see, all of us gathered here are all key stakeholders to this project. So it's going to be beneficial to the community, to the entire Epe local government area and the entire Lagos state. So it also intends to train farmers on the use of non-petroleum based chemicals throughout their farming activities. That is basically what the project is all about. So our objective, what are we looking at? We intend to promote zero waste initiative and awareness leading to methane and waste reduction. So we also intend to establish a material recovery facility to enhance the waste management and diversion of waste from dump sites and landfills. So we also mobilize community action against waste to energy projects, because waste to energy is actually the kind of waste to energy project that we are pushing for in Nigeria. It's a false solution, and that is why we brought this concept in order to scale up what is happening in the global platform, bring it down to the community level. It will also promote the use of compost in the agricultural sector, then advocate for integration of waste pickers, because we have come to understand that waste pickers actually they are not carried along, especially in decisions that has to do with waste, and their safety have not been a priority all this while. So this project intends to integrate them into a formal waste management system. I will talk briefly on the activities of this project so that we all can understand the reason why we brought you here. So first is community consultation, which we have done. Our colleagues have, I'm sure some of us have met with our colleagues here they came on a community consultation to tell you that such a project is happening in your community. And this activity has been done. So the second one is stakeholder mapping and basically have done, and our researcher is here on ground to tell us what he found out in Epe around waste management and methane issues. The third one is creation of zero waste ambassadors. You see, this project is going to create zero waste ambassadors. The zero waste ambassadors will serve as alliance building group for this project, because we do not just believe in talking. We also believe in action. So the zero waste ambassador is going to drive, you are going to own this project like your own and drive the process with or without Codaf being there. You can drive the process. And it will interest you to know that each and every one of you seated here is a stakeholder, and as a stakeholder, you are also will be required to delegate one person from wherever organization you came from or institution and community that will represent you in the Zero Waste Ambassador. So maybe before we finish from here today, each individual, you will nominate one person that will join that ambassadors to promote this project. Then the fourth one is building of a material recovery facility rather. So the material recovery facility, zero waste that we are pushing for actually works and stands against dump sites. It doesn't believe in dump sites. So that is the reason why the material recovery facility came up, because the material recovery facility serves as a place where you can bring your waste to. It is properly managed right from your home.
Emeribe, I'm a chief researcher with the National Center for Energy and Environment, University of Benin, Energy Commission of Nigeria.
Okay. Will you please tell us how the survey was gathered? Because the place can't survey that the vein in the hall there. So, can you just tell us a bit about just a summary of it and the essence of it?
Well, it's a project that is a new project that is coming to a community, and there is no way you could have done such projects without getting the people involved and carrying them along. So that was what necessitated a baseline study, wherein we have to engage the community, the farmers, the waste pickers, food sellers, and the local government officials on the best way forward to make sure that this project succeeds, and not just succeeding, that's also sustainable. Sustainable in the sense that people can take over the projects and sustain it on their own. That was the essence of the baseline studies.
Thank you very much.
Part of this project, and luckily for us, we are here where we are today. So we appreciate everyone for the support and for the commitment shown so far. So any reports on Shalaye Kua, the report that has been presented to us has already been documented, and that is what we are going to present to the local government. And so before I call on my boss to do that, I think Mama has something to say.
Please, the last aspect of the last man that talked about the last election meeting now. What I see there is they are going to train people because that thing is highly professional, as I can say it, and it's not everybody that is educated. So if you want to train them, make sure you get somebody that will explain to them very well, that will be able to understand what the election is. So make it a must for somebody to interpret very well, because that is highly professional. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. So let me reiterate again. The project is not going to end in this room here. You know, we have other activities lined up, and of which training is part of what we want to do, right? For everybody. And then we're also going to inaugurate a club called the Zero Waste Ambassador. So we are going to have that. She made mention of we nominating individuals amongst us. Like I said, the project is for everybody, even though we are the one introducing it. But we want to make it your own project. Yes, the MRF facility is being constructed. We intend to just run it for 2 years because we know the technicalities involved. Bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ lóṣooṣù a ṣe fẹ́ run it for 2 years. After 2 years, a máa yọ̀ǹda fún community pé ẹ̀yìn gain ìkọ̀kọ̀ níbẹ̀ in the project. So training is part of what we want to do, and we will show that. So at this point, I want to call on my boss to do the presentation of the report. Let's put that together for you.
Thank you very much, Rebecca, for holding the fort and being a very wonderful MC. I want to once again appreciate the local government chairman and everybody that is seated here. It would have been very difficult. It would have been very difficult without you. It is because of you, that's why we are here. So I want to really say thank you for finding out time to be here. You could have chosen to be elsewhere, but you came here because this thing is important to each and every one that is here. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So, but before we move on to the next step, I want to officially hand over the baseline report, what our doctor just presented to us now, visually. I want to hand over the hard copy to the local government official. So, on behalf of Community Development Advocacy Foundation and Gaia Africa, not just Nigeria.
Nigeria. I present baseline study report to the local government. So, Oyega.
My name is Richard Benin and I'm the Executive Director of Community Development Advocacy Foundation. Yeah, we chose Epe Local Government due to the fact that it is one local government. When we did our baseline survey and we found out that the amount of maintained emission as projected from Epe Local Government is quite high. So we said, okay, let us site the material recovery facility in Epe to reduce the maintain in this local government. And the people of Epe Local Government stand to benefit a lot from this project because farmers are going to benefit from it, the youth are going to benefit. As I speak to you, presently the number of individuals that have been engaged in the construction of the material recovery site alone is an upward of 200. All right, and directly and indirectly. Now, come to think about when the facility is up and running, you can imagine the spread. So that is it as it is now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
We've seen the saw and then the counter. Sir, my question goes like this. Can this work we are not telling us has anything to do with Lagos State waste management? Are you listening to me?
Yes, we are.
Yes. This your program. Does it have anything to do with the government?
We'll respond to that. Let's take the second question.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Advocacy by name. I'm the former chairman of the local government. My observation goes to the center herself. As a farmer, the local government, we want us to move from the era of using fertilizer for our farming to compost. Now, in the process of using this compost for our farming system, especially the fish farmers and the crop farmers as well. So now, accessibility of this compost in the market, and at the same time, how this thing can be applied, because it's a new system in the environment. Now, for us to use this compost, what are the composition of the item, how the item will be used so at every segment of the farming system? I think you need to bring the knowledge back to the farmers as well. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. All protocol being observed. I just want to observe this the organization process. When we come to the community like this, we speak to people in English language, try to come back to their language, which is Yoruba, so that everybody will carry that along. It's not everybody here that understands this English fully. So please try to ìwọ̀n tí mo try láti ọ̀nà ó lè lo tí mo try láti ọ̀nà pé indigenous area aláwọ̀ yìí sábà ti báwọn náà bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní English ẹ jẹ́ ká come to the goal ìbátan yìí so that message ni wọ́n máa lè understand ẹ̀ dáadáa ní pé wọ́n mọ̀ ọ́ dáadáa wọ́n máa lè understand because if they go back they may not be able to explain to people very well as you explain in English. So please try to get somebody to interpret what you have said in Yoruba language. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let us also ask now. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. My own, I'm Shabi, I'm not Shabi. I'm a farmer in the community. President of farmers in the Epe Local Government. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ṣàpàṣì òyìnbó náà sí láàárọ̀ èyí tó kọ èmi gbọ̀ngbọ̀n gbẹ̀bọ̀rùn orí omi water essence. Báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ bá wa lò ó mọ́ compost manure ní àdúgbò ẹ̀kọ́? Ṣé máa sọ ọ́ di fertilizer náà máa ń lò fún ọ?
báwo ẹ fẹ́ máa lọ gbé bòrò? That's number one question. Water essence. And now also what is the borough? Water essence. How do you make use of that water essence to manure, manure, feed and some other things? Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, a ti ń rí àwọn tí wọ́n ń lo water essence yẹn, wọ́n fi ń ṣe bag, wọ́n ti fi ń ṣe foot mat, wọ́n ti fi ń ṣe bàtà. Báwo lẹ́yìn náà ṣe lè bá wa sọ di ọ̀tun? Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta ni pé mo fẹ́ kí àwọn arẹ́pẹ́ pé a kú oríire o. Bí Ọlọ́run bá lè fi ọlá kó má ṣe ní ìgbẹ̀yìn oore fún wa. Èkíní ni pé we need to appreciate the chairman of the local government for giving them chance and space. Ṣé rí ẹ má bínú ẹ̀rọ pàgbẹ́lẹ̀ bọ̀ téèyàn bá ṣe nǹkan ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ pé ó ṣe. Yes, káàlù lọ́ọ̀gbọ ẹnu ipò ṣe. Ṣé nígbà táwọn ará bíi then a ní láti dúpẹ́ fún Honourable Odupe in his absentia. Kọ́nà ọba àlejò ọlákọ́ba dúpẹ́ fún un. Ibi tó ní báńkì wa ti ṣe kọ́nà má jò bàjẹ́. Nígbà táwọn ará bíi wa tí wọ́n lọ sí Agri department, a ní láti dúpẹ́ fún Mrs. Balogun àti HOD Agri. Thank you ma. Stand up for recognition ma. Ẹdìdẹ kọrí ẹ bá adúgbò fún ọmọ ṣe mà. Adúpẹ́ pé ẹni gbàgbọ́ nínú àwọn àtàwà nínú pọ̀mù. Àwọn gbọ́ngbọ́n ní gbèlé jẹun pé dákí kí ní ìbọn sí o. Èmi náà nà ṣàbí ṣe èèyàn. Ẹ̀sẹ̀ mi náà kú iṣẹ́. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ sà ṣe mà. Torí pé mo ní kíní kan lára chairman. Ẹ̀dá kì í wà kó má kó sí ibi kan. Kò sí ìgbà tí a bá sọ pé mo ní idea ẹ̀ báyìí. She will grab that idea then ó máa support yín náà. Á jẹ́ kó sọ àkàtà tó ti ẹyẹ náà. Nígbà kan dé tó máa fẹ́ ṣe akọ́ pé kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe sí i. Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́? Ó ní àǹtí. Ó máa wúlò fáwọn àpamọ́ ẹ̀yin olóṣèlú ní àgbẹ̀. If it is going to be a profit to the local government, please go ahead. Am I right, sir? Mr. Anyeka, abẹ́ ìgbà Yorùbá. Ṣé a máa fi náà bí òfin láyè? Then another thing, kò yẹ kó ta bẹ̀yẹn fún wọn o, a bá ta fún yín ni. Wọ́n ò ta fún wọn o. Wọ́n sọ wípé àwọn fẹ́ empower àwọn èèyàn tó wà nínú ìlú. Most especially the youth. Àtàwọn tí wọ́n rí iṣẹ́ tẹ́tẹ́ ká àsìkò ìgbà ọdún iléyá. Àwọn mọ́làlá àwọn ẹlẹ́ran náà lọ máa fẹ́. We can as well make use of that energy in that place and start making money. Níbi òkè ìwọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní ọkọ̀ ẹran náà la ṣe kíní náà gbọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ sí. Ó wá ní lẹ́yìn ọdún méjì, am I right? Ó máa di ti community. Am I right? Ṣé mi ò ṣe òyìnbó yẹn sọ? So ẹ jẹ́ ká mú project yẹn. Let us handle and hold the project as our community project. We should all handle the project, be a protector, a beneficiary, and a guidance to that project for the success of this community. I personally, Shabi Aminat, have been the supervisor to Motienka. Yes. And Shewani site engineer is an intellectual person, cool and calm-headed person. Wow. Small but mighty. Engineer Blessing. I don't know if you hear. Wow. He's a nice guy. Tí wọn bá ṣe èmi ni máa sọ wí pé jẹ́ ká lé wọn pa a máa lé wọn pa but that was a bit sad. This place no problem they will do it right now. Ẹ ti rí pé they are ready to give back to the community. That is the reason why they just say pé aṣáṣe ń káàtì chairman ò lè bá wá sí council. Àwa kan máa wà á máa ṣòṣèlú àwa kan máa wà táwọn máa fi kú orí òkú làwọn máa wà táwọn máa ṣe oúnjẹ fún ìlú. Àwọn kan náà lè máa dé wọ́n máa oríṣiríṣi wà lò. So ohun tí mo ṣe ń sọ eléyìí ni pé a ní láti kọ́ fi project yìí ká má jẹ́ kó kú. Then ẹni tó ṣe olórí àwọn oníbólàní. Ẹ bá mi fọ́ lóyìnbó fún wa. Olórí wọn ni. Ọ̀gádá Juma, Sanuku, Yaya Aiki, Nagode Baba. So olórí wọn. We invited all the invited people. We call on Norma, we call on the people The chairman of artisan is there. We call the CDA. The CDAs are the owner of the community. We are the owner of the community. If they say there is no room for you, they can't enter. Mr. Chetiba, CDA. Then the marketmen and women were invited. But it's like the security meeting ní òkè ìbò tí wọ́n ń ṣe meeting kan níbẹ̀. So we've touched all the touchable areas. Build the youth. Build the youth. Destroy the youth. The youth are here. They can't disturb you. They are part and parcel of the system. Great farmers. Great farmers. The farmers are here. They will make use of the resources in as much as it's not too high for us. If it is avoidable. So thank you and God bless you.
A home for me. So I'm believing that one of these days, I will get a space here. So we'll try to carry everybody along. That is why, we have different stakeholders that have been invited. I'm gbìyànjú láti gbé gbogbo wa láti carry gbogbo wa along ká understand the importance of it. So there might be new to our people our non try. So this project is not a Codaf project. It is our project. It is your project. It's our project. We are not just looking at the opportunity of you that you get when you separate your waste. We are also looking at the overall goal, which is in reducing the methane emission. From what my colleague said, she mentioned that we don't believe in dump sites. Now, if you go to a dump site, especially in the evening or early hours in the morning, you will see one gaseous, something, going on. Yes, that is, methane going on, contributing to global warming. And that is why we are saying no from the beginning. Right inside your house, you should separate your waste from the nylon, the papers, the glass, the bottle, whatever it is, separate from it. And then the material recovery facility also have these features. So when you have your plastic sorted, you and I know we can reuse these materials, right? And they know plastic here again. About separate paper, I'm a redo again. About share our other ones. Then I want to share, don't mind your maggot and all those things. Àwọn máa ń rò pé kò wúlò mọ́. Ìwúlò ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sọ pé a máa lò fún compost, ọbẹ̀ ẹja, oúnjẹ ẹja, àti ti normal farming, which of course would fertilize our chemical, but this one is natural, so it adds more to the nutrients, to our agricultural produce. And again, ẹ má rò pé bóyá àwa ní interest nínú nǹkan tó ń jáde láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, àwọn ò ní interest bẹ̀rẹ̀, like I said, it is for the community. Tẹ bá rántí nǹkan tó sọ, a máa yan àwọn èèyàn kankan tó máa jẹ́ bí àmójútó ibi ibẹ̀. And one of the programs for today is also for us to visit that place, gbogbo àkárí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe níbẹ̀. Ẹ máa rí bójú náà, a lè rìn níbẹ̀ náà. Gbogbo wa máa rìn níbẹ̀, a máa rí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe níbẹ̀. So ẹni ọ̀n torí time kí n má sọ̀rọ̀ jù, but our available for any question that I fẹ́
ṣe rí pé a ní mọ́tò àwọn mọ́tò náà máa ń kó ìdọ̀tí ṣé àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó máa kó ìdọ̀tí sílẹ̀ they put it in the box in that box or the lorry. I don't know what you call it, but the thing will roll the thing together. If you do it by other level, then does that mean that we should not be using the normal bus? Or what? How do you feel about that?
Sorry, on this program, I thought at the CDC level, there is a program from the state in which about 3-4 months that we should be separating all this plastic, putting it in the place. So when it gets to a certain point, they will come and be packing it that is going to fetch people money. So they brought the program to the CDC, and we tried to do that. But because of the distance, that distance discouraged many people not to be doing it. So I want to implore you that if you can come to the CDC, they can collapse that people that they are doing it, collapse it to your place so that it's going to motivate them more. We have many people that they are doing it before, but because of the distance, they cannot come from Lagos, come and participate. They now collapse everything. But if you can come to the CDC meeting, so those people that are doing, they are still on ground, they are still picking. Even though as at that time we are requesting for a place in which they can be putting all those things, so that they'll just come and prepare. But we couldn't get. But the executive chairman have done a good work to relieve them. I hope they can hear that. I think they have about 50-30 people on ground that are doing that.
Okay, Madam, not to undermine the effort of the Lagos State government of waste management. We are just looking at it from another angle. You understand? Now, instead of collecting our waste and taking it to the dump site, where not too much, thing is being done after the waste has been dumped there. We are looking at that waste as a resource. It is not waste as waste. It is a resource. Because those things were useful. During the the material recovery facility, the aspect of waste are separated. Shall understand? I'm separating every aspect of waste. So at the end of the day, and that is why we also extended the invitation to Lagos State for dancing room yìí a ṣì máa try láti ṣe recommendation sí even at the state level a ṣì ń lọ kò ṣe tẹ́bá wo nǹkan tí ó lè sì tún ẹ̀rí pé ó sọ pé a máa lọ sí state so àìtí ẹ̀ ń tún ìmọ̀ ìgbàlá nítorí àkàdé ṣe invite wọn wá sí forum yìí so that kò yẹ pé a pé wọn ò ṣe dáadáa àbí wọn ò ṣe no a fẹ́ ṣe iṣẹ́ pọ̀ so that at the end of the day ó máa jẹ́ for the full benefit. You understand? So bó ṣe jẹ́ ẹjọ́ torí àsìkò ẹjẹ́ sáré pé Dr. Emeribe to please come forward for his presentation. Please let's put our hands together for him. Ṣé mo try àbí mo try? Ṣé mo wíire àbí mo wíire?
Thank you very much. Our special guest of our people of the our daddy of office, it's a great time to be here with us. I thank you, Codaf, for giving me the opportunity to
after the waste parliament, the activity will have to continue. The idea you got or the information you got from the first activity, you are going to use it to carry on the second, that is the extended parliament and all of that. So that is that for that. Then policy advocacy, media advocacy, that is at the level, government level. So government officials here, you will be expecting us soon with policy recommendations, and then of course the entire activities of this project will be carried by media, and there will be a whole lot of media advocacy around that. Then zero waste market campaign. The market is actually a very important place because most times we see a whole lot of waste in the market area. So we are going to take the campaign to the market. So the market people here, you are very instrumental and a key stakeholder to this project. Waste speakers organizing, I think I've spoken about that before. We are going to be organizing waste speakers in Epe. We want a situation where the waste speakers are together and they have a voice, they can speak, and government can hear their voice. Their decision or their opinion can be carried. So the other point is my zero waste city radio jingle. Of course, in soonest, you'll start hearing about this project on major stations in Lagos State. Marine experience sharing webinar. We'll also invite you on webinars to share your experience so far on the project. Then the last one is monitoring and evaluation. So I talked about material recovery facility. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the local government chairman and her team. They have been very instrumental to us, and we're delighted to have a space somewhere within here to construct the material recovery facility for Epe people. Please, can we clap for her? So this is where we are in that project. As you can see, we have our compost chambers already, and we have the recyclables chambers there, and this is an office. So as soon as this facility is completely ready, the waste generated in this community would be converted to compost menu in that facility. So, Chairman, Honorable Chairman, it will also interest you to know that so far, that facility have engaged more than 200 youths as workforce there. And Codaf, as an organization, we have invested more than 20 million naira there. So that is how important that project is to us. So, and I would want you to also know, sir, that this project, through you, we were able to get this far in this project. And I also want you to understand that this project is going to empower a whole lot of young people in your community, because it's going to be creating green jobs in the facility, and we are not going to go elsewhere to hire people to work there. They are going to be indigenous of this community that we work in. Yeah. So of course, your administration have given room to human capital development. So the importance of the project to your community is, one, the project will significantly reduce methane emission in the waste sector, thereby improving air quality, public health in the community. Two, the project will construct an operational MRF that will create green jobs, just like I mentioned before. And it's going to promote waste sorting, reuse, recycling, and composting of waste. So the other point is that the project will remarkably improve the agricultural sector. It's going to improve the yield of food in Epe local government area. Then residents too will benefit from our sensitization programs and our trainings. Then our expected outcome, we expect that at the end of this project, we will have a fully operational MRF in Lagos State, in Epe precisely. And that place will recover at least 2.3 tons of plastics and other non-biodegradable waste per week, and treating 2.7 tons of organic waste per week using composting and black soldier fly technology. So the black soldier fly technology will be very useful to fish farmers. It will be useful to poultry farmers, pig farmers, and a whole lot of other persons that make use of it. So the other expectation is an established zero waste ambassadors campaign in Lagos State as a whole, in collaboration with our Gaia Nigeria members, and then an active zero waste farmers network, a cleaner and a more healthier environment, and improved knowledge, attitudes, and practices of Lagosians towards waste management. So I think at this point, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that.
Yes, let me get, this one is filled up. It's filled up. Let me get another one.
Questions or comments you would like to So we'll take four. So let me know those that have questions before we go. So these are our two. I need two more persons.